Good day and thank you for standing by. Welcome to the Kingsoft Cloud second quarter 2025 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After the speaker's presentation, there will be a question and answer session. To ask a question during the session, you will need to press star 11 on your telephone. You will then hear an automated message advising your hand is raised. To withdraw your question, please press star 11 again. Please be advised that today's conference is being recorded. I would now like to hand the conference over to your speaker today, Nicole Shan. Please go ahead.
Thank you, operator. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Kingsoft Cloud second quarter 2025 earnings release was distributed earlier today and is available on our IR website at ir.ksyun.com, as well as on PR Newswire services. On the call today from Kingsoft Cloud, we have our Vice Chairman and CEO, Mr. Zou Tao, and the CFO, Ms. Li Yi. Mr. Zou will review our business strategies, operations, and other company highlights, followed by Ms. Li, who will discuss the financial performance. They will be available to answer your questions during the Q&A session that follows. There will be consecutive interpretation. Our interpretations are for your convenience and reference purpose only. In case of any discrepancy, management statement in the original language will prevail. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you that this conference call contains forward-looking statements within the meaning of Section 21E of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, as amended and as defined in the U.S. Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. These forward-looking statements are based upon management's current expectations and current market and operating conditions, and relate to events that involve known or unknown risks, uncertainties, and other factors, all of which are difficult to predict and many of which are beyond the company's control, which may cause the company's actual results, performance, or achievements to differ materially from those in the forward-looking statements. Further information regarding these and other risks, uncertainties, or factors are included in the company's filings with the U.S. SEC. The company does not undertake any obligation to update any forward-looking statement as a result of new information, future events, or otherwise except as required under the applicable law. Finally, please note that unless otherwise stated, all financial figures mentioned during this conference call are denominated in RMB. It's now my pleasure to introduce our Vice Chairman and the CEO, Mr. Zou. Please go ahead. Thank you.
大家好，欢迎参加金山云2025年第二季度业绩电话会，我是金山云 CEO 周涛。3年来，金山云坚定落实高质量可持续发展的战略，全面拥抱 AI， 公司业务基本面焕然一新。我们不仅实现了收入和营收的双增，更紧紧围绕生成式 AI 时代全面升级了 IaaS 和 PaaS 云服务能力。本季度，我们的业务成长可持续性再次得以彰显 ，AI 自算业务保持高速增长，带动基础云增量需求，收入增长再提速。首先，我们2季度收入达到了 23.5 亿元人民币，同比增长由上季度的 11% 显著提升至 24%。公有云和行业云均实现了同比增长，其中公有云同比大幅增长 32%， 收入实现 16.3 亿元人民币。其次，拥抱 AI 战略持续释放利好。本季度 AI 业务账单收入达 7.3 亿元人民币，同比增长超过了 120%， 环比增长 39%。 AI 业务占公有云收入比例继续提升至 45%。 换言之，在过去2年多的时间里，我们成功的在基础云业务高质量发展的同时，创造了一个几乎同等体量的自算云业务。生成式 AI 本身的快速发展和 AI 落地千行百业的需求，掀开了云服务市场的天花板。我们将继续拥抱 AI， 完善技术能力，打磨自算产品，做生成式 AI 的时代的领军企业。第三，作为小米金山生态的唯一战略云平台，我们牢牢把握生态客户的庞大需求，与生态共生共赢。本季度来自小米金山生态的收入达 6.3 亿元人民币，同比增长 70%， 占总收入比例进一步提升至 27%。 2025年上半年来自小米金山生态的收入合计达11.3亿元人民币，为25年年度关联交易总额的40%，得益于小米金山生态持续繁荣、不断发展的业务机会。我们对下半年的生态业务合作进一步增长充满信心。
Hello everyone, thank you and welcome all for joining Kingsoft Cloud's second quarter 2025 earnings call. I am Zhou Tao, CEO of Kingsoft Cloud. During the past 3 years, the company firmly implemented high-quality and sustainable development strategies, fully embraced AI opportunities, and our business fundamentals have taken on a completely new look. We have not only achieved growth in both revenue and profitability, but also extensively upgraded our IaaS and PaaS cloud service capabilities for the generative AI era. This quarter, our business sustained growth capability was once again verified. The high-speed growth of AI intelligent computing business has driven incremental demand for basic cloud services, further accelerating revenue growth. First, our Q2 revenue reached RMB 2.35 billion, representing a year-over-year growth of 24%, a significant acceleration from previous quarters' 11% year-over-year. Both public cloud and enterprise cloud achieved year-over-year growth, among which public cloud increased significantly by 32%, reaching RMB 1.63 billion. Second, our embracement of AI continued to unleash favorable momentum. This quarter, AI gross billing reached RMB 728 million, representing a year-over-year increase of over 120% and a quarter-over-quarter growth of 39%, accounting for 45% of public cloud revenue. In other words, over the past 2+ years, while successfully driving high-quality development in our basic cloud business, we have also built an intelligent computing cloud business of nearly equivalent scale. The rapid development of Gen AI itself and the demand for its implementation across diverse industry verticals have lifted the ceiling of cloud services market. We will continue to embrace AI, enhance our technical capabilities, refine our intelligent computing products, and be a leading player in the era of Gen AI. Third, as the sole strategic cloud platform of the Xiaomi and Kingsoft ecosystem, we firmly grasp the enormous demands of ecosystem clients and pursue symbiotic growth and mutual success with the ecosystem. This quarter, revenue from Xiaomi and Kingsoft ecosystem reached RMB 629 million, up 70% year-over-year, with its contribution to total revenue further increased to 27%. In the first half of 2025, revenue from Xiaomi and Kingsoft ecosystem reached RMB 1.13 billion, accounting for 40% of the total annual cap of related party transactions in 2025. Benefiting from the continued prosperity of the Xiaomi and Kingsoft ecosystem and ever-expanding business opportunities, we are fully confident in further growth of ecological business collaborations in the second half of this year.
下面我向大家具体介绍2025年第二季度的业绩情况。公有云方面，本季度实现收入16.3亿元人民币，同比增长32%。智算云、基础云发展相辅相成，生态内外客户用量齐头并进。在智算云领域，扎实的训练算力需求和逐步增长的推理算力服务需求，夯实了智算云的可持续发展。一方面 ，AI 在各行各业的落地应用崭露头角，大模型公司、互联网音视频、RTC、在线旅游、游戏等互联网客户均产生增量推理算力服务需求。另一方面 ，AI 相关的数据量增长带动了一系列基础云服务的增长。 而高质量基础云服务的增长已经抵消了我们主动下降低毛利业务产生的收入压力。生态客户方面，我们加深与小米的合作，整合双方优势资源，为小米提供长期稳定高性能的云计算服务。我们还保障了金山旗下西山居剑侠情缘0的平稳上线，提供了包括数据库和云主机等产品的服务。
Now, let me walk you through the key business highlights for the second quarter of 2025. In public cloud space, revenue reached RMB 1.63 billion this quarter, representing a year-over-year increase of 32%. The development of intelligent computing cloud and basic cloud has been mutually reinforcing, with cloud consumption growth from both ecosystem internal and external clients advancing in parallel. In terms of intelligent computing cloud, the solid demand for training computing power services and the gradually growing demand for inference computing power services have laid a solid foundation for the sustained development of intelligent computing cloud. On one hand, the implementation and application of AI across various industries have begun to emerge. Customers such as large language model companies, internet audio-video services, real-time communication, online travel agencies, and gaming have added incremental demand for AI inference. On the other hand, the growth in data volume driven by AI has boosted the growth of basic cloud services, and growth in such high-quality basic cloud services has offset the revenue pressure caused by our proactive scaling down of low-margin services. In terms of ecological customers, we deepened our cooperation with Xiaomi, integrating the advantageous resources of both parties, providing long-term, stable, and high-performance cloud computing services for Xiaomi. We also ensured the smooth launch of Sword Heroes Fate Zero by Seasun Games, a subsidiary of Kingsoft, by providing products and services such as database and cloud elastic compute.
行业云方面，本季度实现收入7.2亿元人民币，同比增长10%。分行业来看，公共服务领域，我们联合金山办公率先正式发布金山政务 AI 一体机，在 AI 加政务办公场景应用加大投入，提供智算服务、平台服务及大模型服务等领域的全站 AI 能力。金山云与金山办公本次的强联合，推动了政企 AI 领域的技术整合与实践落地，为政企数字化转型提供可复制的解决方案。数字健康领域，凭借行业领先的顶层规划能力、全域数据治理体系、稳健的技术底座和 AI 能力，我们在数字健康领域持续打造区域健康和医院的信息化能力。本季度，我们中标长春市全民健康信息平台项目，助力当地健康大数据的互联互通。另外，南方医科大学珠江医院的数据湖项目、武汉大学中南医院信息系统云原生项目也都在建设过程中。企业服务领域，我们致力于 AI 在多行业场景、复杂业务形态中落地，真正提升企业业务效率，实现流程智能化。本季度，我们率先与某国有大银行合作，推进授信报告自动化项目，打造银行业标杆项目，将 AI 能力端到端应用于复杂的核心业务场景中，实现数据采集、分析、决策、报告撰写等全流程的智能化，大幅提升银行客户经理的工作效率。
In enterprise cloud space, revenue reached RMB 724 million this quarter, representing a year-over-year increase of 10%. In terms of public services sector, we partnered with Kingsoft Office to take the lead in officially releasing the Kingsoft Government AI All-in-One Server, increasing investment in AI plus public services scenarios, and providing full-stack AI capabilities, including intelligent computing services, platform services, and large language model services. Through the strong cooperation between Kingsoft Cloud and Kingsoft Office, we have successfully integrated AI technology with practical applications in public services sectors. This provides scalable and replicable solutions for customers' digital transformation. In the healthcare sector, drawing on our industry-leading capabilities in top-level planning, comprehensive data governance, robust technology foundation, and AI capability, we're continuously building the information capabilities for regional healthcare systems and hospitals in the field of digital health. In this quarter, we won the bid for the Changchun Municipal Public Health Information Platform project, facilitating the interconnection and sharing of local health big data. In addition, we're also working on the construction of the Data Lake project of Zhujiang Hospital of Southern Medical University and the Cloud-Native Hospital Information System of Zhongnan Hospital of Wuhan University. In the field of enterprise services, we are committed to implementing AI in multi-industry scenarios and complex business models, truly improving enterprise operational efficiency and achieving process intelligence. This quarter, we took the lead in cooperating with a major state-owned bank to advance the credit report automation project, building a benchmark project in the banking industry. We applied AI capabilities end-to-end in complex core business scenarios, enabling intelligence throughout the entire process, including data collection, analysis, decision-making, and report writing, which has significantly improved the work efficiency of bank account managers.
产品技术方面，我们继续秉持技术立业，聚焦于打造核心产品的一流客户体验。公司基础云与至臻云产研团队齐头并进，依托稳健的公有云基础能力，全面提升公有云 AI 加 PaaS 平台能力，持续优化 AI 套件，以云容器服务为底座，提供异构资源纳管、AI 负载调度、智能运维、资源观测等开箱即用的云原生组件，在大模型场景下提供全链路能力支持。我们继续优化新流讯推一体化平台的能力，提供 AI 行业所需数据集、仿真服务能力，以及数据处理任务全生命周期管理。我们的至臻云在资源管理、数据治理、网络通信和保障方面，助力客户提升模型训练效果，降低单位成本。此外，我们发布了面向行业云的银河平台新版本，支持多个主流处理器平台及国产操作系统，针对私有化部署场景提升兼容能力。
In terms of product and technology, we uphold the principle of building success based on technology and innovation, focusing on delivering best-in-class customer experiences across our core product offerings. We set up basic cloud and intelligent computing cloud R&D teams separately but collaboratively to improve the AI plus PaaS capabilities on top of our robust public cloud infrastructure. This quarter, we continued to optimize our AI suites. Using cloud container services as the foundation, we provide out-of-the-box cloud-native components such as heterogeneous resource management, AI workload scheduling, intelligent operation and maintenance, and resource monitoring, offering full lifecycle support for large language model scenarios. We continue to optimize the capabilities of the Starflow training inference integration platform, providing datasets, simulation service capabilities required by the AI industry, as well as full lifecycle management of data processing tasks. Our intelligent computing cloud technologies help customers improve model training performance and save unit costs through optimized resource management, data governance, network communication, and protection. In addition, we released a new version of Kingsoft Cloud Galaxy Stack, supporting multiple mainstream processor platforms and domestic operating systems, and improving its compatibility for private deployment scenarios.
总体而言，AI 为云计算的发展注入新动能，同时 云计算支撑 AI 模型能力快速发展和应用落地。我们持续建设和升级智算云资源，进入我们的优势行业，强化 AI 在政务、金融、医疗等领域的落地。各行各业加速 AI 的应用，在提升生产效率、提高产品的用户体验、获得额外收入增长等方面，均看到 AI 体现出的切实作用。展望未来，我们坚信本轮 AI 革命带来的市场机遇才刚刚开始。我们将借助过去2年来拥抱 AI 战略积累打磨的综合能力，继续深耕小米金山生态和优质外部客户，专注于打磨核心产品及解决方案能力，为我们的客户、股东、员工和其他利益方持续创造价值。此外，本季度我们迎来了公司的新任 CFO 李毅。接下来有请李毅为大家介绍2季度的财务业绩。谢谢。
Overall, AI is injecting new momentum into cloud computing, while cloud computing, in turn, is essential to support rapid model training and adoption. We continue to build and upgrade our intelligent computing cloud resources, and at the same time, leverage our expertise to enhance AI implementation into key sectors like public services, financial services, healthcare, and other fields. AI adoption is accelerating in various sectors, and its substantial ability to improve productivity, enhance user experience, and generate additional revenue streams has been verified. Looking ahead, we firmly believe the market opportunities brought by AI revolution have just begun. We will leverage on the comprehensive capabilities we have accumulated over the past few years by embracing AI, continue to deepen our commitment to the Xiaomi and Kingsoft ecosystem and high-quality external customers, and focus on polishing our core product and solution capabilities to create long-term value for our customers, shareholders, employees, and other stakeholders. In addition, this quarter, I would like to extend warm welcome to the company's new CFO, Ms. Li Yi. I will now pass the call to Li Yi to go over our financials for the second quarter 2025. Thank you.
谢谢周总，谢谢 Clark. Thank you all for joining the call today. It's my pleasure to join Kingsoft Cloud. I'm looking forward to working collaboratively with the team to navigate the challenges, capitalize on opportunities, and do my best to contribute in the execution of high quality and sustainable development strategy. Thanks for the trust of the board, company, and the stakeholders. Now, I will walk you through our financial results for the second quarter of 2025. This quarter, our AI strategy continued to be successful, driving business expansion across all products. Total revenues for this quarter were RMB 2,349.2 million, reflecting a 24.2% year-over-year increase. Of these, revenues from public cloud services were RMB 1,625.3 million, up 31.7% from RMB 1,234.5 million in the same quarter last year. This growth was primarily fueled by a surge in AI-related business, with gross billing hitting over 120% year-over-year increase to RMB 728.7 million. Revenues from enterprise cloud services reached RMB 723.9 million, up 10% and 1% from RMB 657.2 million in the same quarter last year, primarily driven by high demand for IT delivery services and steady progress on our external enterprise project delivery. Total cost of revenues was RMB 2,010.4 million, up 27.8% year-over-year, which was mainly due to our investment into infrastructure to support AI business growth. IPC costs increased by 10.3% year-over-year from RMB 728.2 million to RMB 803.1 million this quarter, which was mainly due to our increased purchase catering to our new AI clusters demand. Depreciation and amortization costs increased from RMB 265.9 million in the same period last year to RMB 552 million this quarter, mainly due to depreciation of newly acquired high-performance servers to expand our AI business, as well as the regular CPU servers to support the computing and storage demands followed by AI-related customers as the dataset exploding. Solution development and services costs rose by 14.8% year-over-year from RMB 491.1 million to RMB 563.7 million, driven by expansion in solution architecture and delivery personnel to support revenue growth. Fulfillment costs and other costs were RMB 25.8 million and RMB 65.8 million this quarter, respectively. Our adjusted gross profit for this quarter was RMB 350.6 million, increased by 8.4% year-over-year and 7% quarter-over-quarter. It was mainly due to the expansion of our revenue scale and the enlarging contribution from AI business. Adjusted gross margin was 14.9% in this quarter, compared with 70% in the second quarter 2024 and 16.6% last quarter. Our adjusted gross margin has been negatively impacted by the higher cost of servers, along with the expansion of our AI business, and upfront costs incurred for certain customers for its future revenue activity, as well as the price pressure of certain large-scale clusters. On the expense side, excluding share-based compensation costs, our total adjusted operating expenses were RMB 560.7 million, increased by 1% year-over-year and 31.2% quarter-over-quarter, of which our adjusted research and development expenses were RMB 183.1 million, decreased by 8.5% from the same quarter last year. The decrease was mainly due to the decrease of personnel resulting by our strategic adjustment for research team. Adjusted selling and marketing expenses were RMB 109.5 million, decreased by 6.8% year-over-year. Adjusted general and administration expenses was RMB 206.8 million, increased by 12.8% year-over-year, due to the increase of credit loss resulting from prepayment made to suppliers related to the procurement of certain servers. Our adjusted operating loss was RMB 166 million, narrowed by 11.7% from RMB 188.5 million in the same period last year. The improvement was mainly due to the share-based compensation adjustment. However, the adjusted operating loss increased compared with RMB 55.8 million from last quarter. It was mainly due to the increase of credit loss caused by the prepayment made to certain server providers. Our non-GAAP EBITDA profit was RMB 406 million, increased by 5.7 times of RMB 66 million in the same quarter last year. Our non-GAAP EBITDA margin achieved 73% compared to 3.2% in the same quarter last year. It was mainly due to our strong commitment to AI cloud computing development, strategic adjustment of business structure, and our third strict control over costs and expenses. As of June 30, 2025, our cash and cash equivalents totaled RMB 5,464.1 million, providing a strong liquidity position to support operations and AI investment. The increase was mainly due to our public equity offering and private placement with Kingsoft Corporation, as well as the prepayment we received from strategic customers, which will be used to support its further class construction. This quarter, our capital expenditures, including those financed by third-party reached RMB 1,135 million, and right-of-use assets obtained in exchange for finance lease liabilities were RMB 1,665.8 million. Looking ahead, AI technology has created a wealth of opportunities for cloud computing. Not only the computing demands brought by modern training and inferencing will also help enterprise to adopt AI capabilities into their complex business scenarios. Our company, as the enabler of AI, provide cutting-edge technology and compute resources to all kinds of customers, help them to leverage sophisticated AI models and platforms without the need for extensive in-house infrastructure and large amount of capital expenditure, significantly lowering the barriers to entry and accelerating technological breakthroughs across various sectors. Thank you all.
This concludes our prepared remarks. Thanks for your attention. We are now happy to take your questions. Please ask your question in both Mandarin, Chinese, and English, if possible. Operator, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. As a reminder, to ask a question, please press star 11 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. To withdraw your question, please press star 11 again. We will now take the first question from the line of Wenting Yu from CLSA. Please go ahead.
周总你总Clark 尼克晚上好我是 CLSA 分析师文婷感谢给我提问的机会我这边有2个问题想请教一下那首先第一个是能否请管理层去分享一下公司对下半年以及明年上半年收入的这个看法跟指引我们看到小米在自动驾驶跟 AI 领域的这个算力搭建上投入的节奏是怎么样的然后因为想请教一下就是 AI 6小户以及其他行业的这个 AI 需求的趋势我们是否有看到有一些大模型厂商它在制作模型迭代放缓上面有影响到他们对算力的扩容甚至是原有集群的需求那其他有哪一些行业对 AI 算力的需求是比较亮眼的那第二个问题是关于毛利率因为今年公司采用更多租赁的方式去获得算力资源那我们也看到这个租赁分成对毛利率有一定的影响那展望下半年到明年的上半年公司的毛利率是否会随着租赁占比的这个加大在接下来几个季度去继续的下行呢那目前租赁的算力占我们整一个算力的实体的比例大概是什么水平我们认为比较理想的这个占比大概是怎么样的I'll translate the question. So the first question is, could management share the outlook and guidance on the revenue outlook for the second half of this year and also the first half of next year? And how is Xiaomi's investment pace in AI and autonomous driving infrastructure? Additionally, what are the AI capacity demand trends in industries like AI 6 Tigers and the others? Do we observe large model vendors slow their model iteration and reduce demand for computing consumption, and which other industries show strong AI infrastructure demand? And second question is regarding the gross margin. This year, KC has adopted more leasing of compute resources, and this had already impacted gross margin in the second quarter. And looking ahead, do we expect gross margin continue to decline in the coming quarters as we use more leasing? What is the current proportion of the lease capacity in the overall computing resources pool, and what is our target or preferred ratio? Thank you.
好，我先来回答等下看李毅包括刘涛有什么补充。从我们目前的全年预测来看，下半年的增速，我们目前来看会比上半年还好，对吧？这是很具体的，我们应该还没有对外去指引。对，这是一个宏观情况第二个呢，就是你谈到的这个关注我们内部客户小米实际上呢，从下半年开始，我们这边陆续在帮他交付比上半年更大的。那个一个集群吧，因为具体的小米那边没有去对外同步，我们也不方便说，反正肯定是更大规模的。对，总体来看呢，你刚才谈到的这个一个趋势问题我理解就是说，这个训练的这些客户，这个是一个什么走势推理是什么走势？尤其 DeepSeek 出来之后，我觉得各家还是不太一样的表现吧，有些客户确实是。就缩减了这个在训练方面的投入 就利用开源的去做了，但有些客户还在继续跟进，所以呢不能一概而论。对，所以总体来看呢，就金山云本身在上半年的这个自算业务的增速呢，你可以理解就是说这个行业本身的发展还是很迅猛的。对，因为也涉及到这个一些我们客户的一些隐私啊，所以我们不方便具体去在这个会上去谈具体哪一家它是怎么样的，好不好？我希望大家更多的自己去关注这方面的消息。对，所以我想表达的整个 AI 的需求还是非常旺盛的。当然你要细分是训练还推理也好，我也只能说是各家不一样。你看小米是肯定加大训练的这个投入的，但有些大厂其实说实话，它这个从去年开始明显，尤其进入到今年啊，他们自身的推理的需求是极其旺盛的。OK， 这是一个相对宏观的回答你这第一个问题。
So allow me to translate briefly for Mr. Zhou's answer to the first question. So generally speaking, since you're asking about the expectation for the second half growth, I would say that the second half revenue growth, we would expect that to be stronger and better than the first half. That's the general holistic revenue top line situation that I would like to share with you. And secondly, since you asked about Xiaomi, what I can say is that we are in the process of delivering a even larger cluster for Xiaomi's computing power demand. Without further details about the Xiaomi confidentiality concerns. Thirdly, since you asked about the trend, especially in terms of training versus reference, I would say that after the debut of DeepSeek, the different players in the market started to exhibit different patterns in terms of investment. Some of the players continued to invest heavily in the training of models, and that would include Xiaomi as well, right? But some other players actually, have to some extent decreased some of the investment in computing power demand. However, we have also been seeing some of the other large enterprises since last year continue to have even stronger inference computing power demand for inference. So I guess generally speaking, it's hard to comment on each player, each customer that we engage with due to customer confidentiality reasons. But I would say that overall speaking, the market demand for AI continued to be very strong. Thank you.
第二个问题是非常好的一个问题啊，就是我来系统性的回答一下。目前体现出来的这个毛利率水平啊，这个实际上是从去年下半年开始，我们在这个应该讲是风险与收入之间的一个平衡的结果。大家也看到啊，其实过去金山云呢其实是负债经营，通过自主这个投入 CapEx 这种方式啊，虽然这个毛利水平是净利水平相对更高啊，但长期处于一种高负债率的经营状态下，实际上呢，这个无论是这个内部投资人还是外部投资人啊，其实都有很大的风险。从去年下半年开始，这个我们就在做调整啊，这个采用了这个刚才提问人提到的这个我们资源池的这种模式啊，其实你可以理解叫做合作分润模式，其实降低我们自有 CapEx 的投入，但同时获得这个一定的回报的这种方式。所以呢，这两个应该说整个一年跑下来啊，今天这个毛利水平呢，确实出现了跟去年同比啊略有下滑，但实际上从这个实际体现的这数据来看呢，我认为是非常好的，达到了我们这个战略的预期，或者说这种平衡性是一个非常好的。这个如果你单纯从我们毛利率这个角度来看我们的下降啊，那实际上我们这个分润模式还是很成功的，我们并没有分走太多润啊，但实际上不是啊，所以我们跟我们的客户也是一个合理的利润比例，实际上这里头体现出我们这个在日常的经营的效率、成本的管控各个维度啊，还是有进一步提升。今天单纯看到的一个同比下降1个多点的这种，只是一个综合体现，好吧？所以我个人是表示非常非常满意的。第二个，你谈到了未来啊，这个自有比例和租用比例， 这个到底从长期看会是什么样的一个走势，以及对我们毛利的进一步的影响。首先这个租用比例呢，我们没有就是自有和租用的这个比例我没有去披露过，但是呢，截止到目前呢，还是这个自有的这个是多的，这个租用的是少的。对，未来呢，这个我们除了这种租用模式啊，其实实际上呢，我前几个季度还介绍过，对一些大客的这个3代模式啊，这个代建就代海代建代营，实际上呢，在上个 Q 我们已经是在推进了，这个实际落地的效果也非常非常不错，所以未来我们可能就是不是2种啊，这应该是3种了，就是这个自采的这个经营的一种方式，或者合作租赁的一种方式，还有一种代采代建的代营的三代模式。对，所以呢，这3者的比例呢，会依客户的类型吧，或者体量大小而不同，所以对具体整个毛利率整体这个综合的影响到底会影响多深呢？现在不好判断，但是呢，这个总体来讲呢，我们还是从刚才谈到的平衡性角度来看啊，其实就是经营的风险和收入和盈利的这个平衡性角度来看呢，我们认为我们的经验是逐渐的这个丰富啊，这个把握的力度也越来越精准，好吧？当然，这个再跑到年底吧，我觉得基本上这几种综合模式下来，会呈现出一个什么样的综合毛利呢？稳定在哪个水平呢？会就比较清楚。那我们这大体也框算过吧，应该跟现在不会有太大的出入，好吧？
So, in relation to the question regarding gross profit margin and its future trend, I think this is a very good question. I would like to put that into the context of our growth model since last year. If you recall, since last year, our old model was purely based on self-procurement, which comes with a high capex level and also comes with a high gearing ratio. We've been asked a lot of questions by the investor community highlighting to us the potential risk in relation to that model. So since the second half of 2024, given that consideration, we have adjusted and pivoted to some of the new models, which we would call the resource pool model or the profit sharing model, where capex level would be relatively lower, and also we would benefit from lower gearing ratio. So overall speaking, because of that shift of that procurement model, although there is a slight decrease of GP margin, however, I would say we generally achieved the strategic choice that we made for that changing of procurement model, and therefore I think it's actually quite a good success. It's a successful result. And since you also asked about the ratio between the self-owned assets versus the profit sharing model, I would say that we haven't disclosed the particular number in that regard. However, so far I can tell you that the self-owned assets still command the majority of those assets on our balance sheet. In the future, I would say that in addition to the 2 models that we already have, we're already exploring a new model which we have applied in one of the key customers, which I would call the agent model, which essentially means that we would do on our customer's behalf with our help. We would do the procurement, we would do the construction, and we would do the operation on behalf of that customer. So putting this together, we're actually having 3 models, and the particular adoption of any one of these models will purely depend on the demand of those particular customers and the overall balance that we would like to achieve in terms of gearing ratio and the capex and indebtedness level. So I would say that in general, as we continue to run our different models and their combinations in the next few quarters, we'll have a clearer picture as to where the GP margin will stabilize at. But as far as I can see from this point in time, I would say that the GP margin level relatively will stabilize at where we are right now today. Thank you.
Operator, next question, please. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now take the next question from the line of Xiaodan Zhang from CICC. Please go ahead.
周总、李总、Clark、Nicole 晚上好。那我这边有2个问题想请教一下。第一个是就是追问一下那个这关于我们这个就是 AI 算力这边的一个问题啊。那鉴于因为我们现在在采用更多元的算力资源获取的模式，那也想请管理层更新一下今年我们自有资金的这个资本开支投入的一个计划，那以及综合就是几种模式以及结合我们现在对于客户需求的一个判断。那到年底的话，我们可用的这个算力资源能够达到一个什么样的量级？那第2个问题是关于这个行业云。那我们看到这个季度行业云的这个增长是有所加速的那想请管理层分享一下，就是怎么看待我们这些优势行业就是近期的这个需求，以及我们项目交付节奏的一个变化，那以及这个加速的趋势，看下半年的话是否能够持续。那我快速翻译一下我的问题。So thanks management for taking my questions. And my first question is regarding our capital expenditure plans. So could management update on your capital expenditure plan for this year, and what is the expectation for AI computing power that will be ready to use at the year end? And secondly, the year-over-year revenue growth of industry cloud has reaccelerated from the last quarter. So could you please share some color on the demand and also your delivery pace of the industry cloud clients? Thank you.
第一个问题我请李毅来回答，看刘涛到时候还有没有什么补充，好吗
？For this year's capital expenditure, including self-procurement and lease-to-purchase models, as we mentioned the last quarter, it is for the total year is around 10 billion. For the first half of the year, actually we have spent around 5 billion. As Zhou mentioned, now we have 3 models. So we don't because we have quite a strong cash position as at the 31st of June. So that is why at this time we will adjust our procurement process and models according to the customer's demand. So we still think for the whole year the capital expenditure is around 10 billion.
第2个我来回答从肖丹你所看到的，其实我们整个行业云Q2的这个增速在提升你刚才谈到的几个问题相当于是一个问题有几个小问题，就是这种需求，从我们的角度，这个行业的需求的一个变化趋势，以及下半年的这种是否能持续实际上随着今年这个 DeepSeek 这个尤其是在这个一些偏传统行业这个影响还是很深的，其实起到了一个这个教育宣传普及的作用所以呢今年那个体现在我们看到的行业客户这种需求是非常非常旺盛的这个当然也包括各种一体机我们也发布了，对，当然我们的是政务一体机跟办公一起的。实际上我们看到的包括金融、医疗、教育这个很多行业这围绕这个 AI 的这个需求都非常非常旺盛。当然真要展开就哪怕同样在一个行业里面细分场景的这个需求也特别特别旺盛。所以我自己的总结就是现在是处于我在内部讲的话，就是真的到了这个大模型要进入到千行百业这么一个阶段。但是痛苦的是什么？痛苦的尤其这2天我们跟雷总开会学了一个词就是闭环体验这个词，就真的在某一个具体场景下能够把 AI应用进去并且好用易用，说实话差得很远。所以我们金山云的做法就是至少我定的策略就是说，不要一上来就铺那么开，更多的围绕从0到1选定几个锚定几个场景，真的要做好。所以我刚才在这电话会我也谈过实际上我们有些没说你像我刚才谈的是某国的大银行这个现在报告生成这个领域我们认为交付的质量是非常非常高的，对客户也非常认可的。所以呢 结论是什么呢？行业需求非常旺盛，我们比较克制，选取了某些特定的几个场景，先去实现0到1的突破，未来再去这个在0到1的基础上实现1到N 的突破。OK， 然后你谈到我们下半年航运的这个增速情况来看啊，从目前来看呢，我们今年其实尤其到 Q4 啊，那才是每年航运的最大头的，因为很多项目年初做年尾收嘛，对，包括我们的很多客户也是这样啊，到年底就是把上一年的这个项目结了，下一年的预算开始，所以呢，其实从目前的全年预测来看呢，下半年的这个增速会显著高于这个 Q2 和上半年，好吧
？Allow me to quickly translate. First of all, I would say that what you observed is correct, the trend for enterprise cloud revenue in Q2 to grow faster than before. Now, the first reason I would say is the advent of DeepSeek. To be quite fair, the advent of DeepSeek has a very good and very deep impact in terms of the relatively more traditional industries in China. It's like a customer education process where we're seeing a lot of strong demand coming from the public services, from healthcare, from education, from financial services sector, etc. However, we currently still have this pain point, which is we're still not at the position where we're able to provide our customers with a very easy to use application. So the final landing or application of the software or AI solution is still not there yet. So the strategy of Kingsoft Cloud, what we internally tell our management is actually we need to refrain the impulse to actually spread out our work and our energy across too much and too many verticals. Rather, we would ask the company, the people, to actually focus on a few focus areas where we have relative competitive advantages. And then working on those solutions to achieve the so-called 0 to 1 breakthrough, and then further do the 1 to N spreading out and application. So that's what we're doing now internally in terms of the enterprise cloud and its combination with generative AI. Now, you also asked about the trend for the second half. Generally speaking, for enterprise cloud, the delivery peak had always exhibited this seasonality that the second half to be better than the first half. So we, as we look at the forecast for second half, the growth rate for revenue for the second half of this year, we do expect that to be significantly better and higher than the first half of this year. Thank you.
Please.
Thank you. We will now take the next question from the line of Song Ju from CITIC. Please go ahead.
周总、李总、Clark、Nico， 晚上好，我是中芯计算机的分析师许松啊，感谢给我提供的这个机会。我这边的话，其实主要是有一个关于这个就是供给端的这样的一个问题。就我们看到，其实，在当下这个时间节点上，这个芯片的供给端也在发生一些变化。比如说在最近的一段时间，我们看到像类似于 H20 的芯片的一个恢复的供应。包括到这个后面的一段时间，可能 B30A 等等一些英伟达海外的一些芯片，可能也会向大陆地区来进行发售。但是呢，我们也看到了，比如说像类似于像海外芯片的一些芯片漏洞的一些情况，也可能会就暗示接下来的这些采购需要去更加的审慎。我不知道我们在接下来的整个在供给端的这样的一个采购的思路或者策略上。是否会有调整？比如说像国产芯片去做一些倾斜还是有一些其他层面的一些考虑 ？So I will translate the question. We see that the current chip supply set is undergoing some changes. H20 resumes supply. B330A and other chips will also be sold, but at the same time, issues such as chip security vulnerabilities may also suggest that the next development needs to be more cautious. Do we have made the strategy adjustments to our chip procurement ideas, such as embracing domestic production? Thank you.
其实你这个问题呢，从我们23年开始做 自算业务啊，我们就应该从策略上思考的还是很成熟吧。一方面中美这种大的这种地缘政治的影响啊，使得这种不确定性增加了很多，所以呢，我们一方面呢，这个围绕这个英伟达合规的一些芯片，在中国的销售呢，我们也是拥抱的。但另外一方面，这个国产算力的合作呢，其实从23年开始我们就积极在拥抱，尤其是这2年围绕着这个高端芯片啊，这个反复的反反复复吧。你看 H20是4月16号我们融资那天禁售的啊，几个月后它又放开，就这种说实话在我们预料之中。所以呢，过去几年呢，我们一直是秉持这么一个策略吧。尤其到今年，我们跟国产算力的这个紧密合作呢，是越来越强了。从1加到 N 加吧，但基本上我们都在全面接触，并且有些已经是有很深的合作了。所以呢，就是你刚才讲的这种情况呢，未来我相信啊，会在相当长一段时间还会折腾。包括你刚才谈到的这些型号，也许这个明天让卖，后天又不让卖了，大后天又让卖了，这种会反反复复。但对我们的这个影响，目前来看可控吧？我觉得从我们第一天开始做这个，就有足够的一些储备，就是2条腿走路，这是一个。第二个呢，其实这个问题我在前几个 Q 去回答的时候也谈过，其实我们以大训练和大客为主，所以呢，就是包括我们小米这个金山体系内的，所以说基于我们客户这个现阶段发展的状况来看呢，我们认为结合我们刚才谈的这个供给策略啊，我们认为目前还是能够满足的。但是我也在前2个 Q 谈过我的观点，如果未来大面积的这种推理应用爆发，其实从中长期看啊，就如果国产算力跟不上啊，我觉得还是会有很大的压力的，就对我们对行业如此，对我们也如此，对，所以中数来看呢，从中短期看，因为我们本身的这种供给策略的选择，使得我们的业务的稳健性，这个还是能得到保障，但从长期来看，这还得取决于国产算力的这个，无论是从性能还是产能提升和改善上，其实起到了这个决定性的作用。对，我自己还是偏悲观的啊，从未来3-5年看，我觉得中美之间的这种科技战还是会延续下去，好吧？
Okay, so actually to your question, we've been giving this a lot of thinking and contemplation from a strategy perspective since 2023 as we started to venture into the AI, generative AI computing cloud business. Because this is the general broader picture under the Sino-US geopolitical conflict, which gave rise to huge uncertainty in the supply chain. So on one hand, now given that backdrop, on one hand, we embrace the compliant chips that are, supplied in China, and on the other hand, we had also been closely monitoring and following domestic firms for supply chain. To be quite fair, the restriction for H20 actually happened on the day of our equity follow-on issuance. And the ensuing lifting of that restriction, happened a few months later. However, we're not too surprised by that because, given the backdrop, given the conflict nature. Also we have been in close business cooperation with suppliers for domestic chips in China, starting from one firm to many firms. And actually, a few of them we have very deep collaboration with. In summary, although there have been back and forth in terms of supply chain uncertainty, however, there's no material impact to our capability to supply and satisfy the demands of our customers. Now, also zooming into our particular situation, right? Because the majority of our customers are large customers, like key accounts, large customers. And combining the strategy that I talk about, so far our capacity and all these channels that we have built, both for domestic chips and also for overseas chips, are sufficient to supply demand. So that is the situation right now in the short term. However, I do think that in the longer term, if there's going to be, for example, like a killer app, Gen AI application, where the inference demands for our customers experience explosive growth, and then the demand from the industry surge significantly, we do think that there's a chance that in the future the supply would not be able to meet the demand. So in short, in the future, the balance between supply and demand largely depends on the domestic chips capabilities as well as their performance. Personally, I take a relatively conservative view that I think in the future, if demand should surge like that, there's a chance that the domestic chip supply will not be able to meet the demand in the market in China. But that's for the longer term. Thank you.
Operator, please.
Thank you. I would now like to turn the conference back to Nicole Shan for closing remarks.
Thank you. Due to time limit, we conclude our earnings call today. Thank you once again for joining us today. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact our team. Look forward to speaking with you again next quarter. Have a nice day. Thank you. Goodbye.
This concludes today's conference call. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.